Well, good morning, everyone. Today is day one, not opening day, but day one for us. We came in last night. It's Sunday. Saturday, we were both involved with being a dad, doing dad stuff. I had a college scrimmage football game I had to go to. Bryce
I had to go to work and help my kids earn some money.
Had to go and earn some money, so we weren't able to make it up for opening day, but that's okay. We let all the opening day hunters come up and get their chance. They all went home to go back to work. Bryce and I are here for the rest of the week. So a little late start. It downpoured last night. We had thunder, lightning, hail, rain.
It's a typical opening weekend for Brandon and I.
Yeah, seems like every opening day we get rained on, so we fooled them this time. Only thing we didn't really have was a tornado. So, but we're excited to be up here. We're glad you guys are with us. Well, we're predicting 2 elk, 1 deer in the next 5 days, 6 days. Does that work?
Works for me.
Okay, let's go fill our tags. Well, good evening, everyone. We're in the evening portion of our hunt for day one, and so far we've seen a couple deer, a couple does. That's it. A little discouraging, but that was just day one. Actually, we've seen 4. So Bryce and I are going to separate tonight. He's going up on the hill over there so he can blast that side hill for elk. And I'm going to pursue a deer tonight down here along the river bottom where we've seen all these does, and hoping that maybe there's a buck running around here with them. So if I do get a buck, then we'll be relocating possibly to another area in the same area, but we're gonna drive tomorrow looking at a different area because we've seen no elk sign. Last year when we were in here, we saw plenty. Elk scat, tracks, rubs, and nothing on this trip. So keep your fingers crossed that a deer can come through here, that I'll be able to wing an arrow in it and at least check that box off, and then it'll be full blown after elk after that. So well, good morning. It's now day 2, and we drove west to a little bit of a different area. We're going to be in some junipers. We're going to give that a try. We've never really hunted junipers before. It'll be a first time for us, but we're looking for signs of elk primarily, deer second. So far, a lot of cows, but that's right?
Yep. The cows can survive here. That means the elk and deer can for sure.
Yep. All right, well, let's go see what we can find. Hey, there's deer poop. Good sign. what you call road hunting. So this hunt has not exactly gone as what my hopes and expectations were. We're in some beautiful country, lots of pine trees, some sagebrush, some quakies, some junipers, just all sorts of vegetation and lots of water. We can shoot any elk, whether it's a cow, spike, or bull, and of course a buck. If I see a buck, I can shoot that. The hard part is we haven't seen any sign of any elk. Well, Bryce finally found some poop yesterday, but nothing today. Everything that's where we're at screams elk country. It's cool. Like I said, it just looks like elk country where you should find elk country, and we're just not finding them. We've done a lot of glassing, a lot of hiking. Bryce is just below me, sitting on a spring right now. I'm above him. We're hoping maybe something comes into water tonight. So keep your fingers crossed. And otherwise, we're still searching. If you're still following us at this point, thank you. There hasn't been any action or fun or anything to keep you here so far, but I'm pretty determined this is the year we're gonna get our elk. So stay with us and let's see if I'm right. All right, so Brendan and I are on our second day here. We are just roaming around trying to find where the animals are. We've seen a little bit of sign here and there. We've seen a lot of does, but no bucks and no elk yet. So we're trying to get high up on the mountain and into the pines. And as you can see behind me, we're found an area. I've got a little spring here that's just trickling out, so I'm going to sit on it for the next few hours and just see what comes in on it. If nothing else, hopefully a coyote or something will come in that I can put an arrow through. But here's really hoping that some elk or maybe some deer come in, but hoping for an elk, cow, spike, bull, anything. Just hoping we'll get it. But it's a beautiful area that we're in here, and like I said, we're just hanging out and seeing what we can find. We've done a lot of glassing today and looking at different areas and just looking at the maps and trying to decide where the elk are going to be. And so we'll just keep working at it, and hopefully we can get into some and find them. Anyhow, we'll see what happens from here. Well, the day has gotten better. I was sitting in some trees just up that way, and I had a 2-point come in, 109 yards. So I did not shoot him or shoot at him, but it was at least something with antlers, so that was good. Bryce is just about 2 or 3, well, probably about 400 yards down that hill, sitting at a spring. There's 3 or 4 game trails up here that go right down to it. Well used, so I'm hoping that something comes into him tonight. I'm just sitting up here above him, hoping maybe to get something that comes up out of the watering hole, or maybe something on the way in. So I got a squirrel coming up behind me. I can hear him chirping. So, but alrighty. At least we saw something with antlers finally. There is nothing better than finding watering holes that are not documented. But now I know about it, and it's documented on my Onyx. Well, good morning, everyone. It's day 37.
Or 3.
Or 3. Feels like 37. My hips are saying it's day 37. But Bryce and I are hiking up into a new area. This will be our 4th new area of this trip. We're still not finding any sign of elk, but today's hopefully the day we saw a sign that said go that way. So that's where we're headed.
Yeah, we'll hike up over the river and through the woods and see if that's where the elk are hiding. Hopefully that's the case.
We're going to probably split up again today. I'm going to come sit in a little bowl right up here above me, and Bryce is going to hike up to a spring, and we're going to both be on the lookout for any sign, poop, tracks, living animals,
Dead animals.
Yeah, dead animals.
Anything.
So anything that tells us there's elk in the area. So again, if you're still here, thank you. This is probably the world's longest hunt with seeing those signs, but it's how we do it.
Yeah. If we ever get just a doe tag, this is the area for sure.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of does. Saw that 2-point yesterday. Got excited for a minute, but 109-yard shot. He's lucky he lived. So, all right, we got more hiking to do, so we'll see you up there.
Hey guys, just making a climb up here to the top of this area. I actually started getting into a little bit of sign of elk. Past a couple different areas that there's some droppings. Some of them are old, the other ones are a little bit fresher. And we're Brandon out, so he is back resting his legs for just a second, and then he's going to try to catch up here in a little bit. Up here on the top of this hill, there's a spring, so I'm hoping I can get up into it and get elk coming into water. So that's the hope. Alright guys, so I'm here, still climbing up this mountain. As I was coming around this giant rock at the top of the hill, I noticed this right here. I think I'm going to call that one Precarious Rock right there, because it's just balancing right there on top of that. If that thing falls off, it's going to make some noise. Alright guys, so I made it up on top. It was a long 4-mile hike up here. I don't know how many feet of elevation gain, but my guess is probably at least 3,000. It was a butt kicker. So I just got up here. I found some pines and just sitting down in them. There's this nice little draw right over the edge from me here. So I'm just sitting here, just watching and seeing if I can get any movement out of this draw. So that's where I'm at.
I'm pushing about 8 turkeys up the trail.
So let me see if you can see. You guys can see this here. Don't really focus on it. I'll tell you what. These little guys here, they have about the strongest freaking spider webs I've ever seen. They are amazing. They freaking shoot it across to a blade of grass and like tug the grass in, and it just connects there, and you have to swipe at it to break that spider web. They're crazy, big old strong things. So you're coming down and holding that branch right there. Anyway, don't know what these dudes are on, but yeah, they're like steroid spiders, but they're spider webs. It's crazy. This dude's getting a little upset at me, so I just broke part of his spider web. So you can see he's kind of rising up and down. Anyway, yeah, come across these guys getting their spider webs on your face. They are.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking you were down further.
I thought you saw me wave at you.
Nuh-uh. All right, so we've been hiking, I don't know, 3 days now, hiking around trying to find different sign of elk, and today we got onto some steep area and we finally found some elk crap. It's old, but we also did find some rubs. This is the best rub that we found here, and so it looks like an elk just had a heyday, just rubbing up against it fairly recently too. But anyhow,
What are you doing?
my dogs were barking, so put them in the cold water to cool them down.
You worked for that one.
Yeah.
So how'd our morning go?
Well, it started out as an uphill battle. all the way till the top of the mountain, and then it turned into a downhill battle all the way back. The good thing is we did find some elk sign today. Found quite a few rubs and some elk poop. The poop's kind of old, but at least we found some. The rubs look like they're probably in the last week or so. So that's a good sign that, if we're starting to get hard horn, and hopefully the rut's coming in here pretty quick and make it a little bit easier to find them.
About 8 miles today.
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Yeah. My phone tells me that I burned 1,800 calories, which is a new record for me in one hike. So
nice.
So that's probably why my feet are hurting.
Well, it's the right place to be.
Yep. Well, guys, I made my way up into that area I was talking about, and called and had a doe come by, but that was about it. Yeah, so no sign of any more elk. So not sure if they've just kind of moved out of this area. Not sure what's going on with them. So anyhow, we can head back to camp and figure out with Brandon if we're going to stay in this area or move to a different location. So at least we found some sign today. Just a little bit older sign. We're not sure if it was just an elk bull that was passing through on his way to try to chase down some cows. So anyway, stick with us and we'll see what we can find. Alright guys, I was trying to find a spring up on top earlier today and was not able to find it up there, but I found where it's coming down the mountain, so I'm going to follow it up and see if I can see if that bull is hanging around. I'm just trying to work my way over off the trail right now because the wind is shifting and blowing across the way that I wanted to go in on that area. So anyhow, yeah, pretty decent amount of water coming down out of there, so I think I can see where it's pooling up there where the bull had his really good rub. Anyhow, I'm gonna go and see if I can find him. Hopefully get him to come and play. Alright guys, so just going back into this area that we hiked into this morning. One unfortunate thing about it is literally uphill the entire way. With Brandon being my older brother, it did his legs in this morning, so his calves are cramping up pretty bad. So I'm just gonna go in, and we've got one area where we think there's a spring at. I'm gonna go check on that. Sit in there and cow call. We found pretty good sign that there's a bull elk in there somewhere. So I'm gonna cow call, see what I can do. See if I can get him to come in on me. So that's the plan for tonight. Alright, I'm gonna keep charging up this hill. I feel like I just did this, but doing it again. Alrighty.